2, 1.
So far, so good. This moment on your screen, 8 years in the making. Israel, in just a few weeks, could be the 4th nation to land a spacecraft on the moon. The Beresheet probe is now separated from the SpaceX rocket that got it into outer space. Right now, it's zooming along on its own on a 7-week journey to the moon. It is the cheapest moonshot in history. Private donors chipping in $100 million. And Israel's Beresheet spacecraft will be the smallest and the lightest spacecraft to ever land on the lunar surface. Right now, Beresheet is actually zipping along at about 20,000 miles per hour. The target right now for that moon landing is April 11th. With me now in studio is Dr. Igal Patel. He is the head of the Israeli Astronomical Association. And what an exciting event this was. I mean, I know you were up watching it live. I want to ask, how did you feel when you saw this rocket? I mean, everyone is nervous, fingers crossed, but so far everything is going according to plan. It must be a sigh of relief.
Yeah, of course. First, it was, as you said, it was something like 8 years. So we have been watching, and we were very exciting every moment of the process, because it's not simple to raise such a project, a private project, to get donations, to get the support from the government, but still, and the technological achievement, it's the first time that in Israel they designed something that has to land back. We can launch satellites, sure, but to land back, it's very difficult. And yesterday it was a sigh of relief, and we are waiting to April 11 to get another sigh of relief.
Explain in basic terms. I mean, I'm not a scientist. I like watching the rocket go up, but explain to me why it's taking 7 weeks to get there. I mean, the Apollo missions, the manned missions, it was a few days. They went right to the moon. Why is it going to take the Beresheet probe almost 2 months to end up there?
Yeah. It's related to what you said, that it's the cheapest of them all, of the four, well, the fourth, but the cheapest. Yeah. Why? Because Apollo had a Saturn, missile, can take them directly to the moon.
A lot of fuel.
A lot of fuel, a lot of force. Here, the SpaceX missile, took it only to 1,000 kilometers, and it should be supported by the gravity of Earth. So it can rise up, not get to the moon, and then fall back to the Earth and get another support from the Earth's gravity until it gets enough high. So it takes about 7 weeks.
Literally a slingshot. You have to build enough juice to sling yourself to the moon.
This is the fuel, the small fuel that you have on the Falcon, and then the fuel of gravity from the Earth that takes it high to the moon.
All right, I want to jump in now with Michelle McCory, of course, the anchor of our program Clear Cut, joining us live from Cape Canaveral, Florida, on a sunny day there. Michelle, thanks so much for being with us. First, I want to ask you, you're in Florida. How did it feel, I mean, to be part of history, really, to see this incredible moment up close?
Jeff, it was truly an incredible once-in-a-lifetime moment, really an amazing experience. Right now, we're just across the river from the Kennedy Space Center, but yesterday we were given special military clearance, and we were able to go right to the launch site about 4 hours before takeoff, look at the rocket and get a real up-close feel of it, and then we were taken to a special viewing area for launch off. And Jeff, it was amazing. We could actually feel the heat radiating from the rocket as it passed overhead above us. And that thunderous boom that it let out, everybody was just in awe. There was applaud during launch off, and then people were watching in silent awe. And then again, when we heard that it had reached orbit, the crowd was just applauding. Everyone was very, very excited, Jeff, to be there. And Jeff, the launch went off at exactly 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, exactly on time. And some of the Israelis there were joking that that was very atypical of an Israeli project to be so punctual.
Yeah.
But of course, that was more up to SpaceX than the Israelis. And indulge me for one moment, Jeff, indulge me for one moment, because I want to show off a little bit. We were given this mission badge, which I'm very proud to have. And if you can see at the bottom, it says Anusantara Satu. Now, that is the official name of the mission because that is the name of the Indonesian communication satellite, which was the primary payload on the rocket, which picked up the bulk of the check, if you will. And, Jeff, that was part of the Israeli brilliance here, to share it to the moon to make history, and it was amazing to be part of all of it.
Good for you, Michelle, nabbing that amazing souvenir patch right there. You're officially part of the mission. There you go. Michelle, I want to ask about that.
Absolutely.
The Israeli effort to be on this rocket. I mean, it's the cheapest moonshot attempt in history. It's the lightest moonshot attempt in history. They just wanted to be on that rocket, but to be light, there's not a lot of room for error here, right? I mean, they don't have a lot of fuel. There's no backup systems in place in case something goes wrong. You've been speaking with the scientists. Is there a margin of error at all?
You're absolutely right, Jeff. To keep it light, to be cost efficient, very limited room for error, very few backup possibilities. And that was one of the questions that I asked during the press conference to one of the heads of SpaceX, Igal. I said, cap this for me. I mean, what are the chances of this actually working? Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
We aim to land on the moon.
Okay. But if I was a gambling woman, what are my odds here?
There is no.
Put your money on the moon.
All right, it's a nice answer, a political answer right there. Don't worry about problems. Everything's going to plan. We're going to get to the moon. So, Michelle, if everything goes according to plan and they get to the moon in April, what exactly are they leaving there? What is going to be left on the moon for all eternity?
Well, for starters, the spacecraft itself is going to remain there. And in it is a time capsule. And in that time capsule is a huge digital collection of a number of things. There's a number of encyclopedias and dictionaries submitted from all around the world. From an Israeli perspective, there are Israeli songs. There are Israeli works of art that children across the country were submitting in order to build excitement about this moon landing. Israeli songs. There's also the Tfilat Haderech, which, as you know, is the prayer for the travelers on the moon lander. And it's really supposed to stay there and for other generations that come to the moon to stumble upon this time capsule and to continue inspiring future generations.
All right, Michelle McCord, excellent reporting the last few days from Cape Canaveral, Florida. Great for you, to be so proud of you that you got to be part of history and you got that awesome patch to go along with it. Excellent reporting. Come back to New York safe and sound. Very good. All right, back in studio with Dr. Igal Patel. I want to ask about the science now. Obviously a lot of nerves to get the rocket in the air, and then there was more nerves for the separation. Yep. So everything went according to plan. So now what? Is it really just a waiting game? Does Beresheet do anything at all until, is it just generating the momentum to get to the moon's orbit? Or is it just waiting and watching? Or can you actually, do the scientists have to get involved in any way?
Most of the time now it's all the route to the moon, it obeys to Isaac Newton. Old Isaac Newton, he's the boss, his laws.
Let it do its thing.
Yeah, right to the moon. Then it will be the, the dangerous part.
The most risky part.
Yes,
how risky is it to land on the moon? I mean, come April 11th, how risky is it?
There's a few stages. First, the probe should be the speed should be lowered to the speed of the moon, to be something equal to the speed of the moon, because right now it's about 10 times faster than the moon. So it has to be captured to slow down. And then at the descent of the probe, it should be, the engine should activate in order to another slow down, just to be, on the landing, on a, soft landing. And, it could be something like a rock like this that can rotate the probe and
you
many
want to
dangerous.
Hopefully get a nice soft spot.
Yes, they spotted a nice, spots for landing, but who knows? And
we'll see. April 11th, of course, you can bet that we're going to have extended live coverage here in I-24 News that day, if all goes according to plan. Again, Beresheet on its way, doing its thing in outer space right now.